I'm Tom Hamilton. Time for the Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineups. 3 seniors being rewarded in the lineup today for Penn State. The big news for the Warhawks, they will be without their best player. Majut Dang will not play due to a leg injury. And we are just about ready for basketball. An outstanding officiating crew. Bill Eck, along with Courtney Green and Gene Sterator. And for the first time ever, the Penn State Nittany Lions take on Louisiana Monroe. And the opening tap controlled by the Warhawks, who are in quite a journey. They played at Kent State Thursday night. They're at West Virginia tomorrow afternoon. Penn State looking to trap there in the half court. This is Coppola, their outstanding point guard. They'll run that shot clock down. 10 to shoot. Baseline jumper is good by Samuel, averaging 9 a game.
Yeah, Tom, this is probably going to be a 65 possession game. The Warhawks want this even lower than normal because obviously no dad is their best player by far.
The good news, if there is good news, losing your best player, he did not play at Kent State, so it is the second game now that they've had to deal without their star. Nice lob down low, and Donovan Jack ties it at 2.
That's exactly how Penn State started the game Thursday against Canisius in this building, going right to the rim with their big man.
Coppola in traffic. And a turnover. And kicking the ball on Penn State. You look at Patrick Chambers. He has turned this program around in his 5th year as the head coach of the Nittany Lions with a great recruiting class. This year's crop of freshmen, a top 30, and an even better crop, a top 15 recruiting class coming in next season. So Penn State has really gone on an upswing under Patrick Chambers. Nice dish, but a block inside. And recovered by the Nittany Lions.
That was 100 career blocks for Jordan Dickerson in just 2 seasons. He was a midseason transfer.
And the 3 ball gives the Nittany Lions the 5-2 lead.
And that's what Brandon Taylor does. A terrific inside-out player. Can shoot threes and can post up on the low ball.
Taylor hitting 41% of his triples in this young season. Samuel from the corner, almost an air ball. And whose head did it glance off of? It's off Penn State.
That's the Jordan Dickerson block, and he's 7 foot. He's the first 7-footer they've had here in a decade. And that's what Brandon Taylor does, late to the three-point line and in.
Baseline jumper, though, is good by Justin Robertson, the senior averaging 9 points a game. Penn State with the ball in a 5-4 lead, 2 minutes into it. Warhawks will play primarily a half-court man defense. Jumper missed by Banks, slapped out to Taylor. Jack the lob down low. Dickerson kicks it back out. Taylor a long 3. And the rebound by Nick Coppola for the Warhawks. Louisiana Monroe with the ball down the point. Nice dish, but in traffic. Good defense by Penn State as they recover inside. And knocking it off his own hands was Samuel, a turnover. And there you look at Keith Richard in his 6th year as the head coach at Louisiana Monroe. He played for the Warhawks. Spent 9 years as the head coach at Louisiana Tech, and now back at his alma mater.
And he missed the game Thursday at Kent State, Tom. He wasn't feeling well. Fortunately, Keith is feeling a lot better today and is on the sideline.
He'd feel even better if Majut Dang was in there.
Much better.
Taylor looking for help. Banks in traffic. Off the glass. Penn State up 7-4 on Peyton Banks' short jumper.
Peyton got a little bit of time last year in his redshirt freshman year and moved his way into the starting lineup and is by average scoring more points than any Big Ten player over last season.
Travis Munnings with a rare 3-ball. That's his 3rd triple of the season. And he deadlocks this game at 7 as we are 3.5 minutes into it here at historic Rec Hall. They played here on Thursday night. The only 2 games they're playing in this building this season. 3-ball missed that time by Shep Garner. And Louisiana Monroe trying a rare fast break And Dickerson's going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, not where you want your 7-footer trying to get somebody strip the dribble at half-court time. That's the prescription for a foul.
There's an outstanding player you maybe haven't heard much about, Majouk Dang. He is out of Sudan, then moved to Australia. He's only played basketball since he was 17, but you may see him next year in the NBA, a 6'10 senior, but out with a leg injury. On the turnover, Garner to Reeves, back to Garner, and then a reach and foul on the Warhawks. This is what the Warhawks are missing, Dick.
Yeah, he's an inside-out player. There were only three players in the country last year that had 43s and 50 blocks. How about Dang, Frank Kaminsky, and Jared Utah from Iowa? That's the company he kept last season.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Penn State. And that'll go against Garner, his first. And no program, much less Louisiana Monroe, can replace that guy.
Well, Kentucky, Duke, and a few others, but you're right, certainly not Louisiana Monroe. It's just really unfortunate they make this road trip 3 games in 4 days, as you said, and not having their best player.
On the drive, off the glass, Munnings has given the Warhawks the lead.
And that's generally what they want to do. They want to attack the rim. You mentioned an unusual 3, especially for Munnings. That's not their game. They are not. Last 2 games they've shot well from out there, but that's not what they do.
Munnings has 5 early points, and now Penn State plays from behind. Almost a turnover. Taylor saves it. Taylor's jumper, in and out. Rebound, Samuel. And Penn State coach Pat Chambers was concerned about fatigue today. And that jumper from the wing was good by Robertson. Meanwhile, a Penn State player, Josh Reeves, in the backcourt, is shaken up and may have lost to contact. But like that in a 4-day span.
They will get a few $100,000 to take back with them to Northeastern Louisiana.
Penn State with the basketball, down 4. As we are Devin Foster now in the ball game, has it on the wing as Warhawks down a 2-3 zone. Taylor into the corner, open look, Banks short on the 3 ball, and coming down with it, Devin Foster in traffic. He got fouled, and Foster hung in there, and he'll shoot a pair of free throws as the foul will go against Nick Capola.
They saw a lot of this 2-3 zone last Saturday when they played Eastern Michigan across campus at the Bryce Jordan Center, Tom. It was a former Syracuse assistant, so they at least have seen this defense. And I suspect the Warhawks might play a little more given the fact that they don't play many bench players anyway, and they're even shorter on the bench now, obviously, without one of their starters. One of their bench players is now starting.
Well, one of our officials, Bill Eck, here at the head table, we're having all kinds of electrical and technical problems, but we'll fight through it as Devin Foster at the line, a 56% free throw shooter, the left-handed senior out of Dayton, Ohio. Well, the buzzer works, and it went off in the middle of Foster's free throw. Devin Foster.
The shot clock is back at both ends, Tom, I'm happy to say. We'll see if it actually works, but I see a pair of 30s.
Hey, I don't care what kind of issues we have. It is still great to be back at Rec Hall, where guys like Danny Earl and John Amici played, plus some of the greats way before my time. And this is still what college basketball is all about. We'll put up with a few misfires.
You can actually go back to the early 50s. Jesse Arnell, who was the only 2,000-point scorer in school history until Taylor Battle recently broke his school record, played it here, and they actually made the Final Four where they played the great Tom Gola and LaSalle back in 1954. So, yeah, there's been some good hoops in this building.
Devin Foster averaging 3 points a game, rims it, so he missed them both. DeMondre Harvey with a rebound, and the Warhawks have seized control of this game. They lead 11-7. Harvey in traffic, partially deflected, and then Munnings going up, gets fouled, and he'll shoot a pair of free throws.
But that was Devin Foster fouled, missed 2 free throws, and then fouled at the other end. And Tom, to your point, the Warhawks do have control of the pace of the game. Penn State, it was a much faster game on Thursday night. Canisius was just looking to see if they could outscore Penn State, which they couldn't. That is not how ULM is playing.
First free throw missed badly by Munnings, who is 2 for 7 at the charity stripe this season.
Yeah, Keith Richard's team is absolutely defense first. That's their game. 75 points. The opponent has gotten it only one time in the last 51 games.
So the biggest lead of the afternoon for Louisiana Monroe. They're on top 12-7 as we've played 5.5 minutes here at Rec Hall in State College, Pennsylvania. Against the zone, long three by Reeves, and he nails it. The freshman out of Fairfax, Virginia, now 2 for 19 from behind the arc this season.
He needed that in the worst way, Tom. He had a great game, stat game the other night, Thursday night, but as you said, he hasn't been making any threes.
Warhawks with the ball up 2. Inside the arc, in and out on the jumper for Robertson. Reeves with a rebound. He had 10 rebounds the other night against Canisius.
7 assists, 4 steals, 8 points. Other than that, he didn't do much.
Banks thought about it, drives the baseline. This is Shep Garner. Kick out Taylor. 10 to shoot. Both shot clocks now working. Taylor with the miss. Rebound for the Warhawks. Not many second chance opportunities for Penn State as Samuel pulls down the board. First meeting ever between these two schools. Louisiana Monroe out of the Sun Belt Conference. They'll be a contender this year in that conference. In fact, they've played one game in the Sun Belt and already beat the conference favorite, Louisiana Lafayette.
And shot 9 for 15 from 3 that game, which is why they won it. Put up a big number against the favorites in the league.
Nice look. Taylor. Reeves tries again. This time he misses the 3 badly. Ball loose on the floor. A scrum. And it's going to be a Penn State foul.
It's a big foul. That's two on Shep Garner. He's their point guard. They got that early offensive foul and then a scramble call. And here it is. Ball. Everybody's diving all over the floor for this thing, and nobody can get it. Finally, Monroe gets it, and Shep Garner gets called for the foul.
So the outstanding point guard for the Nittany Lions, the sophomore out of Chester, Pennsylvania, on the bench with 2 fouls. He may spend the rest of the half there. As the Warhawks with the ball still lead by 2. 12:40 left first half. Harvey driving the baseline. Pass deflected out of bounds by Foster. It's still Louisiana Monroe basketball.
It's interesting, Tom. Shep got his second foul with 6.5 minutes to go in the half against Canisius. It was only a 1-point game, and without him, they actually extended the lead to halftime, which is unusual because they need him.
A steal by Banks. Looking to drive. Had it deflected and stolen by Samuel. And he recovers the errant pass. Louisiana Monroe is a patient club offensively. They'll work most of that 30-second shot clock sometimes. Coppola will take the open 15-footer and drain it.
That's what these players do when they're listening to you over here, Tom. They go, there's 17 on the shot clock. I'm firing. I'm open.
The first bucket for Coppola. High post Dickerson. Reeves drives the baseline and got the bounce. He's a natural left-hander. He has 5 off the bench.
He's the best athlete on the team, and you could really see it there, how explosive he was. He's obviously still working on that 3 ball, but he is a terrific defender, long arms, and really fast.
This is Coppola. 12 to shoot. Marcus Washington, 6 to shoot. Samuel, tough shot over Donovan Jack. Good defense by the Nittany Lions. What a save by Dickerson to Peyton Banks. Nittany Lions with a chance to tie it or take the lead with a triple. And a steal on the other end by DeMondre Harvey. And the Warhawks will slow it down, leading 14 to 12, 11 minutes left in the half.
We're about to see what power is. I just heard the coach call it. We'll see what the play is.
Washington, Samuel in the corner. Coppola with 7 to shoot. 4 to shoot. Harvey lost it on the drive. It went off his thigh. And another turnover on the Warhawks. Penn State basketball when we come back. Warhawks with a 2-point lead. Penn State with the basketball, down 2 as we near the midpoint of this first half. Nittany Lions are playing their 4th game in 7 days, and Coach Pat Chambers was worried about not only physical, but more importantly, mental fatigue. On top of that schedule, you got finals beginning next week. And on the baseline, using the left hand, Dickerson gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 as DeAndre Harvey picks up the foul. That'll be his first.
Jordan is a senior from Brooklyn. He started at SMU. I said he's a mid-year transfer. So he's basically, this is his 2nd full year, so he'll have 2.5 seasons by the time this is over. And he's gotten a lot better the last few games, not only making free throws, but making moves in the post to score as he hits the first. But shot blocking and defense time is what he's about. He's going to end his career here as the 3rd leading shot blocker in school history. In catching Calvin Booth and closed on 500, or John Amicio, I know you covered. But he's really helpful, especially on defense.
Well, he trains them both, and we are tied at 14, halfway through the first half here in the Happy Valley.
This is Penn State's 1-3-1 that they played 29 possessions on Thursday night against Canisius.
And on a reverse layup, Munnings had no trouble recognizing the switch in defense.
It appears as if the coach and the team watched the tape of Thursday night. They were ready.
8 for Munnings. That's 2 below his per game average. Jack on the baseline. Right back to Jack. And he got fouled. And that'll be against Travis Munnings, his first.
The place to attack the 1-3-1 is on the baseline, and boy, did they attack it. What is it, 1-3-1? There's only one player back. They attacked that player, scored on the reverse layup.
Terrific recognition by the Warhawks, and that man, Travis Munnings. Meanwhile, Donovan Jack, a 48% free throw shooter, misses the first.
It's not his history, but it is his season this year. He's just not making his free throws.
He knocks down the next one. Penn State climbs to within a point. 9:43 left here in the first half.
And they're going to stay with this defense. Josh Reeves is the key to it, and a lot of length in the 3 in the middle.
Capola driving, had it swatted out of bounds by Dickerson.
That is not how you attack the 1-3-1. You don't dribble against the 7-footer when you're the little point guard. That has no chance.
So Dickerson, averaging a couple of blocks a game, has already got that today. And they better hurry or it'll be a 5-second call, and it is.
They called a timeout.
Or they did get the timeout. Boy, barely. So the Warhawks avoid a turnover. They'll try again when we come back. Terrific coach at Louisiana Monroe, Keith Richard, has his club one of the top teams in the Sun Belt. They got it inbounded this time, and Capola drains another.
Great ball fake to get clear from Brandon Taylor, who ran him off the 3-point line. He ran inside it and knocked it out.
18-15. Warhawks with a surprising first half despite the absence of Dang. And that foul on the push will be on Marcus Washington.
Yeah, just a terrific ball fake. Whenever you have a player running at you and you still have the dribble, it's not that complicated. Use your dribble.
15 foul now on the Warhawks. Entry pass, Taylor, he's triple teamed on the baseline. Baseline pass, Reeves misses that 3. And a strong rebound by Prince Cooper out of the Bahamas, a 6'4" junior. Louisiana Monroe led Kent State on Thursday night, but got blitzed in the second half after a halftime lead. Second game they've played now in a row without Dang, and they've acquitted themselves well, but there's another turnover, and that's 6 turnovers now on the Warhawks, who still have a 3-point lead.
And that is what is keeping them from having a bigger lead, because they're shooting 57%. When they get off shots, 8 of 14, the problem is that 6 possessions, no shot.
Meanwhile, Penn State's only shooting 33%. And you wonder, as Taylor on the baseline, in traffic, Can't get it to go. Coming the other way is Munnings. He's got a 2-on-2. Nice dish, and the layup is missed. Washington, though, came from out of bounds, had not reestablished himself. So when he grabbed that ball, it goes over to Penn State.
This defense is very much culture shock for Penn State. Here's the out of bounds play where it looked like they were going to get it. He was out and then came back in. As you called it, Tom. First play, you can't do that. But this defense, Thursday night, Canisius didn't play any. I mean, they were out there, but they were just pressing and letting Penn State do whatever they want. Completely different feel to this game. Half court, attention to detail. This is what the Warhawks did last year. Got them to 24 wins in the CBI final.
Well, Coach Pat Chambers of the Nittany Lions was hoping playing in this building with this atmosphere and the crowd a factor could bring his club some energy if they were tired. Right now, the crowd not really into the game, and that's a credit to Louisiana Monroe. Tough shot by Munnings, almost an air ball. It went off the Nittany Lions. Warhawks maintain possession, and Patrick Chambers with that look of dismay. 10, Majou Dang.
It's all those missed shots, right? Penn State has 12 missed shots. The Warhawks only have 8. And the Warhawks, if they get it up, they're dangerous. It's the turnovers that have been the problem for them. Other than that, they are really outplaying Penn State to this point.
Warhawks 6 turnovers, only 1 Penn State miscue. A 10-foot jumper is good as Prince Cooper off the bench gives Louisiana Monroe its biggest advantage, 20-15. 7:17 to play in the half.
Penn State shooting under 30%. They got to get some offense.
3 ball is short by Zimgulis. Peyton Banks reverse layup.
Finally got an offensive rebound and got a second chance that time. Brandon Taylor picked up that long 3, flipped at the Banks on the baseline.
20-17. Warhawks lead the Nittany Lions, under 7 to play in the half. Coppola feeding Robertson. With a miss, rebound Banks, who averages 5 rebounds a game. His second today.
Hey, Julian Ward, I don't think blocked that, Tom, but I think he affected that shot just enough that it came bouncing out of it.
This is Davis Zimgulis with the ball out of Lithuania. He's a freshman. 7 to shoot. Zimgulis with another miss, and another hustle rebound by Julian Moore. So last 2 trips down, Penn State getting second chance opportunities. Devin Foster on the baseline to Taylor. Taylor drawing traffic. Taylor nowhere to go. Kick out Banks. Thought about it, then shot it. They hesitate. That's usually the result. A miss with Banks missing the triple.
They're taking the 2-3 zone and bringing it way inside the 3-point line. Daring Penn State to shoot threes. They have 2 good 3-point shooters. Brandon Taylor's 1. Shep Garner's on the bench with 2 fouls.
So the Warhawks still up 3 with the ball. From the baseline, the miss by Robertson. And it belongs to Penn State. Well, BTN has you covered all week long as we get you up to speed on all things college sports. Join the conversation on BTN Live weeknights at 6 Eastern on BTN and BTN to go. Nittany Lions with the triple can tie it. 5.5 minutes left first half.
2 for 10 from 3 so far, Tom.
The lob inside using that height. Dickerson short on the 6-footer.
6 for 22 now.
And the Warhawks, who thrive on defense and rebounding, they're doing that today. They've held Penn State to 27% field goal percentage, and they have out-rebounded the Nittany Lions by 7.
Gave them that man-to-man half-court early, and since then they've sat back in that 2-3 zone. And until Penn State starts, until and if they start making some threes, they're going to stick right with that defense.
Shot clock not reset, so 9 to shoot. This is Robertson, Coppola. Coppola on the drive, deflected out of bounds. 3 left on the shot clock. on an inbounds play coming up for Louisiana Monroe.
Now, Jordan Dickerson, there's no stat for this, but he's as good as there is at these inbounds plays, and now they only have 3 to shoot. It'll be hard to get in.
Samuel lets it fly, hit the front of the rim. The other way comes Foster. Foster down the court, drew the foul. And Nick Coppola will be whistled for his first personal, 7th team, but this will be a shooting foul.
Yeah, Devin's the smallest guy on the floor, but what he does is finish, and he's fearless. He just needs to make a few free throws. He missed those 2 earlier. He can't keep missing free throws when you get to the line like this.
Foster, the 6'2 senior out of Dayton, won a high school state championship in Ohio at Jefferson High School with former Michigan State standout Adrian Payne. Now a 2-point deficit for the Nittany Lions with 4:40 to play. Penn State, remember, lost Shep Garner, their outstanding sophomore point guard, when he picked up his second foul with 12:40 left in the first half. And I think they've struggled without him.
And they do. It was the aberration on Thursday that they didn't, because they played a team that really wasn't into defense. But that's not ULM. They guard.
12 to shoot. This is Robertson. Nice look down low. Harvey. Dickerson got another block. But it stays in the hands of the Warhawks. 6 on the shot clock.
Yeah, he is just phenomenal with his timing. He does a great job of staying down until the shooter goes up. And he blocked it with his left hand. As you said, Tom, 6 to shoot. Be hard to get it in.
They get it in. This is Coppola. 3 to shoot on the drive. And shot clock violation. Nothing ever hit the rim. Good defense by the Nittany Lions.
Dickerson didn't block the last one, but he surely affected it. There is no stat for that, but he certainly leads the team in not only blocks, but affecting shots.
Now Dickerson 3 blocks, and as Dick said, he's probably affected twice as many shots as he's blocked. Taylor for 3. Got it! And Penn State takes the lead back to 21-20 with 3:45 left in the half.
Coach Richard is not going to be happy with that. That's the only 3-point shooter on the floor, and he is wide open.
Samuel with a miss. Rebound, Josh Reeves, a freshman out of Fairfax, Virginia. On the drive with a left hand. Can't get it to go. Slapped out Taylor for 3. Too strong. And yanked out of there then by Harvey. Here come the Warhawks. They have numbers. Now they wisely hold it up. Their game is not a 94-foot game. Samuel thought about it. Now the drive, and that'll be a blocking foul on the Nittany Lions as Brandon Taylor picks up the foul. And after this timeout, we'll talk about a historical moment that took place here 50 years ago. Much less important in a college basketball game, but it is great to be back in here as Samuel knocks down the first to tie this game at 21, 3:09 to play. The 6'9 senior out of New Orleans. And he drains them both.
The Warhawks have finally gone cold from the field. They were sitting at over 50%. They're only 2 of their last 11. Penn State's only 2 of 12, so how are they only down by 1? 7 turnovers to 1. 7 for the Warhawks. Penn State's only turnover was that early offensive foul on Shep Garner.
Warhawks, as Dick said, they normally are half-court man defense, but boy, they've played primarily this 2-3 zone, and it's been effective. Penn State shooting 28%. 6 to shoot. This is Taylor. Nice fake on the drive. Got it to go, but it won't count. The foul came on the floor before the shot, but he's there for the 1-and-1.
Yeah, we mentioned Brandon last year in the Open, only 30 free throw attempts all season. This will be free throw attempt number 51 as he goes up.
Taylor drains the first, and we invite you to stay tuned for the State Farm halftime report. Rick Pizzo, Mike DeCourcy, and Howard Moore. That's coming up. Our State Farm halftime report. Brandon Taylor, man, what a transformation. This senior, 40 pounds lighter than he was when he was a freshman here at Penn State. What a work ethic and what a player Brandon Taylor has become for the Nittany Lions, who now have a 1-point lead. The trap doesn't work, and Samuel with a jam, and again, great recognition by Louisiana Monroe.
No question. Had he beat his zone, 1-2-3 pass right to the baseline and the slam.
You can see why the Warhawks are a Sun Belt Conference favorite. You may see them in the dance come March, especially when they get Majuk Dang back, because he's the kind of kid that can take you to the NCAA tournament all by himself. Not playing today with a leg injury. 5 to shoot. In the corner, 3 ball. Missed that time by Washington. And the rebound to Harvey. And here come the Warhawks back on top with under 2 to play. And again, now they'll get patient. Coppola against Foster. Samuel, pass deflected and a steal. Here comes Reeves. And Penn State back on top thanks to the freshman Josh Reeves.
If that was a bounce pass, it would have worked. You cannot throw a pass like that through a zone. That's just not going to happen.
7 for Reeves off the bench. Penn State up 25 to 24. Loyola I should say Loyola. I want to say Loyola Marymount. ULM. This time it's the University of Louisiana Monroe. Robertson 8 to shoot. Robertson kick out. Coppola for 3. Too strong. Another rebound by the freshman Reeves. He had 10 on Thursday night. Reeves kicks it into the corner. Washington down low. Julian Moore doubled up. Julian Moore, little strong. Robertson deflected by Taylor. Robertson is up with it. There's about a 12-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. 35 seconds left in the half. Warhawks with the ball down a point.
College teams rarely do the 2-for-1 you see in the NBA, and the Warhawks clearly are not doing that. They're going to run the shot clock down. So Penn State, assuming they get a rebound or a make, is going to get the last shot of the half.
7 to shoot. Coppola for 3. Got a good look. Way off the mark. Here comes Foster. 13 seconds left. Foster feeds Reeves. Reeves missed the bunny. Saved by Foster. Taylor for 3. No. This rebound clawed out of there by Munnings. And lost it out of bounds with 0.3 of a second remain. Our State Farm halftime report with Rick Pizzo, Mike DeCourcy, and Howard Moore is coming up. Of course, now with this amount of time, Dick, all you can do is throw the ball in and tap it. Shooting 27% from the floor.
Shep Garner is in the game for these last 1 point.
And the lob to Donovan Jack. He got it off, but it hit the side of the backboard. And that's how the first half will end. So an entertaining first 20 minutes here at historic Rec Hall. 25 to 24 is our. He could possibly lead this ball club to the NCAA tournament. That's how good he is and how good this Warhawk team is.
Good news is defense travels, and they played a terrific first half of defense.
And defense and rebounding. They've lived on that, and it's paid well for them here today. Penn State with the basketball. Taylor, turnaround jumper. Halfway down, rim back out, and it'll belong to the Warhawks. So Brandon Taylor having a tough day shooting. He has 8 points, but has not been able to get that jumper to go down.
Yeah, 2 for 9, Tom. That's not him.
Penn State had 1-3-1 to start the second half, and just like the first half, Munnings recognizes it, drives the baseline for a layup. Man, is he a smart player.
Again, they attack the baseline, as Tom just said. That's the weakness of this defense, and they're beating it with a little ball penetration and then a real nice bounce pass to the finish.
Munnings with 10 points. That's his per-game average. And it puts the Warhawks up by a point as we're just underway here in the second half. We're at Rec Hall today, not the Bryce Jordan Center, as Penn State with its second turnover of the game. Nittany Lions called this home from 1929 to 1996. Came back here, played at Rec Hall 2 years ago, played here Thursday night, and one more game here today. But the crowd hasn't been a factor due to the Warhawks effort. That was partially deflected. It still belongs to Louisiana Monroe.
I think they're going to chat about this. They got it wrong.
And they reversed the call. Again, this is an outstanding crew of officials.
Hand's clearly off. You can pretty simple to see off the left hand there of Munnings.
Gene Steratore, Bill Eck, Courtney Green, the men with the whistles today, and they've done a great job. Almost a carry by Garner. Garner on the drive, had it deflected, and another Penn State turnover. They had one in the first half. They have two to start the second half. Wing jumper missed. Donovan Jack, he was fouled. It'll be on Harvey. That'll be his third.
That's a big foul for a team that doesn't play many bench minutes normally. They only 22% of their minutes are bench minutes. That's 336 in Division I, and that was with Dang. So they even have a shorter bench. They really can't afford any foul trouble.
Nittany Lions with the ball down a point, a minute and a half into the second half. Taylor having a tough day shooting, and there's a moving screen called on Donovan Jack before the shot. That foul on him is his first, and another Nittany Lion turnover, their third this half.
One turnover in 20 minutes, 3 turnovers in 90 seconds.
That's a pretty easy call. Little forearm shiver by the senior Donovan Jack. This is Coppola on the baseline. Jumper from the wing, and it's drained that time by DeMondre Harvey. So back up by 3 are the Warhawks, 2 minutes into the second half. They stay in that rugged half-court defense. Deflected out by Coppola, 17 to shoot.
They haven't solved this zone at all. Since they've been in the zone, Penn State has really struggled to get good shots, and lately any shots.
And Penn State shooting 25% from the floor. They've not been a good shooting team this year, 42% on the season. Reeves on the baseline, missed it badly. Dickerson the putback.
He was fortunate that time, Tom, because he has a bad habit of bringing the ball down to his waist, which he did. Often he gets poked out of there. That time it didn't, and he rejumped and dunked it.
So the first points of the second half, and it took 2.5 minutes for Penn State to get on the board. Warhawks with the ball up a point. This is Coppola. Feeds. Munnings had it deflected. Harvey thought he was fouled. It still belongs to Louisiana Monroe.
It's 2 blocks on that possession, I think. Josh Reeves got a bit of that. Brandon Taylor and Dickerson got some of that. That could have been a foul.
11 to shoot. The trigger man will be Travis Munnings on his own baseline.
Coach Richard is definitely thinking that was a foul.
This is Robertson. Munnings, 5 to shoot. Robertson, a 3-ball. Robertson knocks it down. He has 7. And a 4-point Warhawk lead.
It's only the 5th made 3 in this game, second by the Warhawks.
Garner, fade away, too strong. Ball tip, controlled by Louisiana Monroe's. Harvey is down with it.
Shep averages 16. He has 0 to this point. They have to get him going.
Yep. He got in that foul trouble and sat the last almost 13 minutes of the first half. Again, Munnings drives, blocked, but he was fouled on the drive.
It's just a question of whether it was on the floor or he was already in the shooting motion. No, on the floor. On the floor again. You run at the dribble or you're in peril. The foul was on Dickerson on the floor before the block from Reeves. It was actually a very good foul because he was going to go in and probably get fouled at the rim.
Second foul on Dickerson. He's out. Julian Moore is in to replace him. On the inbounds pass, Louisiana Monroe fortunate to maintain.
The ball was just trickling and it happened to go off. It looks like maybe Brandon Taylor's leg at the end of that, but yeah, that was not a good inbounds pass.
And Julian Moore, the 6'10 sophomore, all over the inbounds pass on that baseline. Smarter play that time by the Warhawks. Munnings driving. Scoop shot not there, but he drew the foul, and that'll go on Julian Moore, his first, and the third team.
Was watching some tape last night with Pat Chambers, and he was showing his team all the what he called blow-bys. Well, that was a blow-by, and that's, you can't have that because that just breaks your defense down. Either you're going to foul or you're giving up a layup.
Now, Munnings is not a good free throw shooter. 40% on the year. Didn't look like it that time. And that equals the biggest lead for Louisiana Monroe. They're up 5 as we're closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second half.
And with so few points, a 5 or now 6-point lead feels like a little more significant than it would be normally.
A dozen for Munnings as he leads all scores. And the biggest lead of the game for the Warhawks, who were down a point at halftime, now up 6, 4 minutes into the second half. Taylor against Harvey. Taylor looking for help. Into the corner. Reeves, spot up 3. Missed it again. He made his first triple today. He's missed every one since. He's only made 2 all season.
Open for a reason.
Robertson driving. Floater, short, and off the body of Julian Moore. So this second half here in the early going, dominated by the visitors from Louisiana. And you saw 3 turnovers on Penn State in the second half. They had 1 in the first 20 minutes. Warhawks with the ball up 6.
I think they got anxious at halftime with only 25 points.
Robertson on the pump fake, can't shed the defense. ULM is only shooting 38%, but they have an 11 rebound advantage. 8 to shoot. This is Capola. Nowhere to go. Ball deflected by Foster. Look at the hustle by Reeves. And Penn State gets it, that time on a terrific defensive sequence.
That's another thing when Coach Chambers was looking at tape last night, just saying how guys weren't diving enough for the ball. Well, they've been diving, but they just haven't had any offensive flow at all.
That's the 10th Warhawks turnover. This is Taylor against Carvey. Garner still without a point or an assist. Reeves driving baseline, air ball. Samuel down with it, and again, Penn State getting 1 shot, and that's it.
Yeah, there's always a Warhawk defender here. They're just really fundamentally sound. They're helping. It's a clinic on how to play defense so far in the first 25 minutes of this game.
A whistle away from the ball. It goes against the Warhawks, and that'll be the 4th personal on DeMondre Harvey, who has 7 rebounds today, and that's a presence that Coach Keith Richard is going to have to pull off the floor with the foul.
There's the illegal screen. You can see it down there right in the middle of the screen, number 2, Harvey. And that's a big foul, as Tom said, because their bench is so short. It's a hot day here. It's like 60 degrees on December the 12th, and here's a team that's playing for the second time in 48 hours, so they get a little tired at some point.
Not to correct you, Dick. That's a travel on Taylor. It's 60 degrees outside. It's 120 degrees here inside.
It is really warm in here. It's an older building, and the heat, the ceiling is low, and the heat stays in here. So are they going to wear down with this short bench? Right now, they're certainly not showing any signs.
This is the way it should be. This is how college basketball was meant to be played. On the drive, recovered by Munnings. Robertson, tough shot, good block out. Peyton Banks with a Penn State rebound. Nittany Lions down 6. On the drive, Banks counted and a foul.
That's what he's been really good at this season. Last year, he was strictly a 3-point shooter, a sub off the bench. Now he's able to put the ball on the floor. He does a little crossover. Very good finisher. Gets to the line. Penn State had 2 points in the first 6 minutes of this half until that basket.
So Peyton Banks, the 6'6" sophomore out of Orange, California, averaging 11 points a game. You see his numbers today, a half dozen points, make it 7. That's a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. And now it's a 33-30 advantage, Louisiana Monroe. Little pressure handled by the Warhawks. They have handled every defense Penn State has thrown at them this afternoon.
That was their 1-2-2 three-quarter court. As you said, they didn't have any problem getting it in the front court.
Capola, 6 to shoot. He traveled. That is turnover number 12 on the Warhawks. And this young Penn State team trying to crawl out of a 6-point deficit. You see the 3 sophomores and the 1 freshman that are key components this season. A top 30 recruiting class that are now freshmen. More youth coming next year. It's a top 15 recruiting class nationally. Penn State's got a chance now to be a real force in the Big Ten in the years to come.
And Shep Garner from Roman Catholic, where 3 of those big recruits are from, playing for the K-Lakes this year.
Taylor, he'll take the 3. He'll rim the 3. It's been that kind of a day for Taylor. 2 for 10 shooting. Brandon Taylor had 18 points in this building Thursday night. Guys love shooting in this building. It is a small building, so you've got a better shooting background, but you wouldn't know it today. Penn State shooting 26% from the floor. They shot 56% Thursday night. And a nice look by Travis Munnings, who has a game-high 14 points.
Much more disciplined team they're playing. They had a lot of run-out dunks on Thursday. There's no run-out anything against this team.
Banks with a 3. Dick, is that settling?
I think so, given what they need to do in this game. And Peyton isn't a particularly good three-point shooter. There's a good three-point shooter right there. Shep Garner.
Zimgulis, offensive foul on the Lithuanian. And that on Zimgulis, his first personal. And that'll be 5 on the Nittany Lions.
That's also significant. It's a team that's also having trouble scoring. You don't want to put them in the 1-on-1, and they're heading that way quickly.
Little trap there, but again, recognized. Oh, what a spin move. Not able to finish was Cooper. Down with it is Taylor. Nittany Lions trail by 5, 8 minutes into the second half. Banks passed it up this time. Had he not, he might have quickly been sitting next to Pat Chambers. Taylor, banging, deflected. That'll be a reach and foul, and it'll go against Marcus Washington. 4th on the Warhawks this half. 35-30. Warhawks still on top of the Nittany Lions. But it's been a dandy. 35-30. Warhawks lead the Nittany Lions as Brandon Taylor knocks down the first free throw and pulls the Nittany Lions to within 4 with 11:43 remaining.
Coach Richard was begging his guys to double team Brandon Taylor on the catch last time. They didn't do it. He ended up getting to the line and misses the second.
Warhawks have been a very poised team here on the road. This is Samuel on the drive, and again, they broke pressure and attacked the basket and have a 6-point lead.
Again, a clinic-like way. When you break the pressure, don't stop. You have numbers. They took it right to the rim and scored.
This is Taylor. He's trying to create himself. Missed. He gets his own rebound. The putback by Taylor. And he has 11.
Sometimes even when you're shooting poorly, or especially when you're shooting poorly, you just need to create something out of nothing, and that's exactly what he did.
Pat Chambers maybe trying to turn up the intensity with this full-court pressure, and it worked. An immediate turnover, the 13th on Loyola Marymount.
There's a Taylor shot here. It was kind of out of control, as you were calling the time. He got his shot in blocks. He's fortunate to get it back and use the glass and scored and got it to double figures. But Penn State's still their second leading scorer as the ball bringing up the court. Shep Garner still not on the board.
Garner with 16 points a game coming in, hasn't scored today as he now has the basketball. Penn State with the ball, down 4, and another turnover. They had 1 in the first half. They have now committed 5 here in the second half. Munnings against Reeves. In and out on the shot by Cooper. Warhawks get a second chance. Cooper slipping. Kicked it out. Samuel lost the handle and called for traveling. 14 turnovers on Louisiana Monroe. 7 on Penn State.
In Penn State's defense, we were praising Monroe's defense, so we'll do the same for Penn State. That's keeping them alive in a game where they just can't score. Monroe's under 40%. You just mentioned the turnovers, so 37 is a great number on defense.
Garner still hasn't scored, may have forced that one. We're halfway through the second half. Louisiana Monroe with a 4-point lead over Penn State. And a timeout is called by the Warhawks. We'll be right back here at Rec Hall.
Got a lot coming in transfers and the freshman diamond stuff.
So the Warhawks with the basketball. They lead by 4 with 9:40 to play in this one. The Warhawks did have the lead at Minnesota earlier this season with just under 7 to play before the Gophers rallied to win it. And the Gophers had to do that with Majouk Dang playing for Monroe. 1 second to shoot. He didn't get it off. It does not count. Shot clock violation out of a timeout.
You see that happen all the time. They lose track of it. They're thinking there's still 30 seconds left, but obviously there wasn't when the possession started because they called the timeout. I thought the timeout was great because the Warhawks are starting to wear down a little bit. You can see it. They'll get the timeout at the under 8, but you got to be aware of where you are on the shot clock.
15 turnovers by Louisiana Monroe. Penn State only has 7. And that's kept Penn State in the game despite shooting 26%. The miss on the drive by Banks. Again, one and done. Prince Cooper with a Warhawk rebound.
Just forcing them into one difficult shot after another. Certainly that was a really hard one to trap.
Munnings on the drive. He had it stolen away by Garner. Garner, one man to beat. Blows by Coppola for his first bucket of the game.
That's how you generate offense off of your defense. They haven't had any runouts. They got a ton of them on Thursday night against a way less disciplined Canisius team.
Garner at 16 points a game gets his first points in this game 31 minutes into the game. Coppola, hip check out front. Coppola's shot was blocked. And a jump ball, possession arrow, will favor the Warhawks.
And Josh Reeves got that shot block. He's a terrific shot blocker for a shooting guard. And he had to make the late run because Dickerson just left him. And it looked like Coppola was going to get a wide open 3 until Reeves stuck his left arm up there.
7 seconds on the shot clock. The inbounds pass, and it's out of bounds. Another turnover over the line.
He threw it in, and it hit the baseline before it got onto the court. That would be another, as you said, another turnover. And that is what's keeping Penn State alive in this game, all the Warhawk turnovers.
Warhawks with 17 turnovers, and so many of them have just been downright foolish. But they still lead by 2. A lob and a finish by Dickerson on a great feed from Reeves.
He set the screen. Reeves went left. They forgot about Dickerson coming behind the screen.
And that gets the crowd in the game. We are tied at 37. 8 minutes to go. Down low. Munnings missed it. Overshot everything. Banks with a Penn State rebound. And for the first time in a long time, the Nittany Lions seem to have all the momentum. Reeves off the glass. Won't go. Dickerson kept it alive. And then Coppola yanks it out of there for Louisiana Monroe. Still tied at 37. Under 7.5 to play.
And Coach Richard wants to run some clock. He would like as few possessions as possible here in the last 7 minutes of change.
This is Coppola. Robertson against Garner. Robertson's jumper. And Louisiana Monroe back on top. Well, they got knocked to the canvas, but they bounced right back. And with 7 minutes to go, Penn State with the ball down 2.
Penn State's got to feel like they missed a golden opportunity to put some game pressure on Louisiana Monroe, missing a wide open shot last time.
And Banks with a long 3, missed it again. What a save by Taylor. Reeves driving, scoring.
Yeah, terrific save, and Reeves didn't settle for the three that time. He saw the opening and he took it. That's his game. Run it to the rim.
Back to even at 39. 6.5 minutes to play. Reeves almost with a strip. This is Coppola. 15 to shoot. Ball kick. It'll still belong to the Warhawks. We've got a timeout. Shep Garner with a steal and finally gets his first points of the game. And then a terrific alley-oop ball. This can be an intimidating place to play down the stretch for the opposition. We're tied at 39, 6:20 to go. Louisiana Monroe with the basketball. The dump down low to Samuel, and it partially deflected, but a foul called underneath. It'll go against Penn State.
Got Brandon Taylor with the foul. I think Dickerson blocked it, but Gene Steratore said Brandon hit him in the head. We'll get a chance. Great slip screen that time. And great call by a man who referees footballs on Thursday nights and Sundays and does college hoops the rest of the week.
That's Gene Steratore, the outstanding NFL official who was just checking with Samuel to make sure he's okay. Samuel with 8 points today, 6 rebounds. He's 2 for 2 at the line.
Warhawks plus 13 on the glass in this game. You say, well, how could that be? Well, the reason is Penn State's missed 35 shots. The Warhawks have only missed 26, so it's really a function of the shooting numbers more than anything else.
Samuel for the lead. Patrick Chambers, the sport coat is somewhere in rec hall, but it's not on him anymore. As we said, it's hot in here.
Long gone. That sport coat disappeared about a half an hour ago.
You'll yank the coat off when your team is shooting 29% and has been out-rebounded by 13. Yet, Pat Chambers' Nittany Lions still only down a point. Just under 6 to play.
Called a foul away from the ball here.
And that's going to be on Samuel. That'll be his first. Team fouls are even at 5 apiece. This is Garner on the inbounds. Finally got into the scoring column. Taylor in the paint. Fade away. Bounces around, won't go. Look at Dickerson. He has been all over the court here in the second half. Draws the foul, the 16.
Brandon's just been off balance on his shot, even that one, and Josh Reeves just mistimed his jump, or he probably would have had a putback there, but Penn State's going to keep the ball on the 16th foul on the Warhawks.
But the bigger story here is DeMondre Harvey has fouled out of the game. He was on the bench with 4. And while he only scored 2 points, he was a physical force with 8 rebounds. And with their best player, Majouk Dang, out today with a leg injury, now they have lost the 6'7" senior, DeMondre Harvey.
And he got his first start Thursday night against Penn State because Dang was out. Now they're going deeper into a bench, as we said, that they don't play very much.
So Penn State will inbound it. This is Reeves on his own baseline. Taylor lost it momentarily, and it's off Taylor's thigh. 8 turnovers on Penn State, 7 in the second half.
And the Warhawks are just playing every possession like their lives depend on it. Just you have to be impressed with these kids coming in here without their best player, on the road, second time in 3 games, and doing this.
Shot missed by Robertson. Penn State with the board, coming the other way with a chance again to take the lead. Under 5.5 to play. Garner on the drive. Garner scores, and a foul.
And if the Warhawks offense was as good as their defense has been most of this game, they'd be great. But Shep Garner used the ball screen from Brandon Taylor and then another screen from Jordan Dickerson in the lane to get right to the rim.
Well, it took Shep Garner 31 minutes to score, but he's capable of taking over a game down the stretch. Makes it a 3-point play. Penn State with a 42-40 lead, 5:20 to play.
And do the Warhawks have enough bodies for this last 5 minutes and change?
This is Cooper on the wing. Shot clock at 14. Cooper in the paint. Blocked again by Reeves. And Penn State with another good defensive sequence. Garner trying to shake free. Taylor thought about it. He'll drive. He's doubled up, kicks it out to Garner with 15 to shoot.
I feel like if Penn State scores here, that's going to put a lot of pressure on a team that's having trouble scoring themselves.
Dickerson, nice post-entry pass. Taylor missed but was fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Brandon is 3 for 13 from the field in this game. He's very frustrated. He just can't get anything to go in, but he'll get 2 free throws. He's 3 for 4 there. He's got 11 points.
Taylor, 11 points, 6 rebounds. And this is that. It's been that kind of an afternoon for the senior out of New Jersey.
I think the Warhawks have just made it very hard for him. They put him in awkward positions where he's caught the ball. He just hasn't had many clean looks.
Taylor knocked down the second. So Penn State now with a 3-point advantage.
Penn State's going to play very small here with 4 guards and Jordan Dickerson on this possession as Taylor gets a break.
This matches Penn State's biggest lead of the day at 43-40.
I said 60's going to win. 50's looking pretty good.
This is Coppola. 15 to shoot. Doubled up. Shot clock at 10. Big possession for the Warhawks for the tie. Samuel rattled out. Ball run down by Josh Reeves. Garner into the front court. Penn State up 3, nearing the 4-minute mark. Garner's pass almost picked off. Dickerson saved it. Garner for 3. Way off the mark. And the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks, again with their defense, get the ball back down 3. Player out of this game with a leg injury.
And now DeAndre Harvey out with fouls.
Big possession here. Louisiana Monroe down 3, 3.5 to play. Shot clock at 8. Nice dump down low. In traffic, Taylor with a block. And then recovering and still putting it in. Travis Munnings on cue. The hardest working player of the game thanks to Duluth. Well, he responds. And it's a 1-point Penn State lead with 3:12 to play.
It's like he heard you, Tom, and got his 16th point.
This is Taylor on the block. Taylor, tough shot. Got to go, Penn State. Back up 3, and Taylor's starting to come to life with 14.
Coppola thought about double-teaming Taylor and then didn't. You got to go. If you're going to go, you got to go for it and take it out of his hands.
Every possession critical now, under 3 minutes to play. Warhawks down 3 with the ball. Remember, they don't score a lot of points in bunches, so they can't afford much of a deficit here in the waning moments. 3 to shoot. Coppola will have to let it fly on the drive. Air ball, shot clock violation. Another terrific defensive effort by the Nittany Lions. And another turnover, 18 on Louisiana Monroe.
That's as good as Penn State has played their half-court man-to-man all season. These last, say, 10, 12 possessions. And on a day when they only have 45 points, they've needed every bit of it.
Garner driving, tough shot. Banked it in and was fouled. And Penn State with its biggest lead, and Shep Garner. He'd been quiet for 31 minutes. Not anymore.
Shep generally goes right. The fact that he kept his balance, somehow Taylor goes nuts after the shot is in, but somehow Munnings fouled him. He kept his balance and kept his eye on the target, off glass and good.
Garner has scored 8 points in the last 7 minutes after being held scoreless this game.
Only 7 minutes in the first half because of those 2 fouls. And that's, you mentioned it earlier, Tom, that's what he can do. He can take over a game, and he's done it here late.
Biggest Penn State lead. Inside Reed, checked it again by Reeves, and this time a foul is going to be called. And the freshman Reeves whistled for his first.
I think Josh thought he got a clean block from behind. We'll have a look at it. He got a lot of the ball. But Gene Steratore made the call, and we would never question Gene. Josh will question him. He's a freshman, but we've seen Gene make a lot of calls through the year.
Travis Munnings, 3 for 4 at the line. 2 critical free throws now with his club down 6.
How good has he been? I mean, he's just been great, and he's battling against players taller than he is, and you would not know.
He has 17 points and 8 rebounds. And he got them both. 48-44. Penn State with the ball in the lead. A little over 2 minutes to play.
Probably not more than about 6 or 7 possessions in the game, and given the pace that we're playing at, unless people start fouling. So every one really critical.
On the drive, Banks with the left hand.
Penn State has stopped settling for threes, and they've started taking the ball to the rim. And why not go 3 for 20 as Coach Richard calls a timeout. His team down 6.
So Penn State equals its biggest lead of the day. Are the Warhawks running out of time?
There are many sides to basketball star and fashion icon Russell Westbrook. And with coverage in the middle of...
Run out of players. Without their best player and one of their starters has fouled out, they're almost going to have to score on this possession.
And now they can't work the clock like Louisiana Monroe loves to. This is Capola against Garner. Great defense again in the half court by the Nittany Lions. And just into the ballgame, we haven't seen this gentleman, Wade Martin, number 25. Capola had it blocked by Dickerson, but what a follow by Samuel. And another timeout by Louisiana Monroe.
That's what happens often when you make a shot block, you leave your man. You'll see Jordan Dickerson leaving his man to make the shot block, and they have 9 team fouls. So 2 shots for Penn State.
Into the front court, Banks. Now this game seemed to change not only with the play of Shep Garner, but that lob from Reeves to Dickerson. It got the crowd into this game. It seemed to energize the Nittany Lions. And now they'll go to the line and shoot the double bonus the rest of the way with 67 seconds remaining.
If the Warhawks wanted to foul, they needed to go earlier. There weren't till 16 seconds on the shot clock. If that was the play, you got to go earlier because every second matters.
Banks with 9 points today. He'll get a second. He's 1 for 2 at the line. 4-point game. Nittany Lions lead the Warhawks. 1:07 to play.
It's also possible that Coach Richard didn't want to foul until Shep Garner gave the ball up to a slightly lesser free throw shooter at Peyton Banks.
Banks knocks down the second. So a 5-point Nittany Lion lead. So it's still a 2-possession game with a minute to play. Capola for 3, a little short, got his own rebound. Capola on the drive, and another block by Dickerson. That's at least 5 for the senior out of Brooklyn.
He has been everywhere. He started this game with 99. It feels like he's got another 99 in this game. That's only 6. It seems like more.
A goaltend. What an inbounds and what a flip up by Travis Munnings. And a goaltend called on the block attempt by Dickerson.
That's 2 attempted stops. Penn State has been away from having total control of the game, and they haven't been able to get it. A great left-handed shot off the inbounds.
51-48. Penn State with the lead and a foul in the backcourt, and it'll be Donovan Jack who will be going to the line to shoot 2. He's 1 for 2 at the line today, but a 48% free throw shooter on the season.
That was the right guy to foul, as you said. They fouled quickly that time. They can't waste any time. For Penn State, Donovan needs to make at least one of these 2 to keep it at a 2-possession game.
51-48, Penn State with the lead. 47 seconds left, and he almost missed everything.
Yeah,
how good is Louisiana Monroe's defense? They're so good that Penn State at the foul line is now 12 out of 20.
They're shooting at the free throw line like they're shooting everywhere else. Not well. Somehow they're still ahead. Second goes in.
That makes it a 2-possession game.
And Dickerson right back in the game. He will play all defensive possessions down the stretch.
52-48. Penn State leading Louisiana Monroe. 47 seconds left. What a gritty effort by these Warhawks without their best player. And one of the best in the country that nobody's heard about. Samuel with a long triple. Reeves with another rebound. Fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, coach was not happy with that shot. He felt like he had enough time where he could get it 2. They weren't, and that's the kind of shot, if you don't make it, that could be the shot that kills your chances of winning, because if Penn State makes 2 here, all of a sudden it becomes 6. And the Warhawks are not a three-point shooting team, so the math starts to really work against them.
Well, and Reeves is a dynamite free throw shooter. First trip today, but 82% on the season, and he'll shoot 2 in the double bonus. Yeah. Kiss of death.
Patrick mentioned to us yesterday, Tom, where he was more concerned about the mental fatigue, because this is the 4th game in 7 days. They played Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. They fought through it just like the Warhawks have, and somebody is going to survive this thing and win.
And he missed them both. It's still a 2-possession game. Don't forget, 6th-ranked Maryland coming up next after this one. Capola on the drive, the high floater. That shot was altered, but a putback by Munnings. And Munnings has kept Louisiana Monroe to within 2 with just under 23 seconds to play. Munnings with a career-high 22 points and 10 rebounds for the freshman.
A double time without him. This game is long over. He's been great.
Taylor now 5 of 7 at the line with 15 points.
30 free throws all of last season. This is 59 free throws this season attempted.
And he makes it a 2-possession game, and now the Nittany Lions want to talk it over. What will they do defensively? Leading 54-50 with just under 23 seconds remaining.
What they don't want to do here is foul, because you really against Drexel will be at the Palestra, which is 3 blocks from Drexel's campus.
4-point game. Penn State with the lead. Louisiana Monroe with the ball. This is Capola. In the corner, a 3-ball on its way. Air ball. Didn't get anything. Rebound, Martin. Capola. 8 to shoot. Samuel blocked again by Reeves.
He is an amazing athlete to come out of nowhere, and the shot blocks. Let's see how many. We know Dickerson has 6. Reeves just flew at that shot top.
Well, he is a part of what is going to be some special seasons here in Penn State. Capola, fadeaway, air ball. Penn State is going to survive. A gritty effort by the Warhawks. What a ball game here today at Rec Hall. This historic building deserved this kind of white knuckler. And Pat Chambers and the Penn State